Hello and welcome. You are tuned into France 24. I'm Rochelle Ferguson. We are here with the headlines this hour. Our top story then, the British billionaire Richard Branson has called it an experience of a lifetime after returning to Earth in his Virgin Galactic spaceship. Well, the test flight was Branson's boldest adventure yet aboard his own winged rocket ship. The mission's success then has vaulted the nearly 71-year-old Branson past his fellow billionaire and rival Jeff Bezos, who's planning to fly to space in a craft of his own 9 days from now. With a crowd of more than 500 people watching, a twin fuselage aircraft with Branson's space plane attached took off in the first stage of the flight. Here's Branson speaking just after landing.
It's a complete experience of a lifetime. And now I'm looking down at a beautiful spaceport. Congratulations to everybody for creating such a beautiful, beautiful place. Congratulations to all our wonderful team at Virgin Galactic for 17 years of hard work to get us this far.
Well, let's get you some analysis on this successful test flight for the British billionaire Richard Branson. Keith Cowing is an editor at NASAWatch.com who joins us today. Keith, thanks for speaking to France 24. I'd just like to start then by getting your thoughts on this successful test flight for Branson.
Well, before you ask, yes, I would go. I've actually had the training in a centrifuge, and pretty much anybody can do this. The issue is, can you write the check? And I think that's the only thing that may set us apart from all being able to do this. But that said, it does show that a private company can develop the capability to take people into space. The tickets are expensive, but if you do your classic marketing, there are literally millions of millionaires out there who would be capable of buying these tickets, and they've got a lot of people already signed up to go. So good news all around.
Talk to us a little bit. Is there any scientific merit in this? I mean, is this about gathering, information for future flights that could perhaps go a little bit further? Is it about feedback for the tourist experience? What concretely can Branson take away from this?
Well, primarily it's a tourism experience sort of thing to do. That's why people are on there. But the vehicle does have the capability of carrying scientific experiments at the same time, and it did today, and it will in the future. NASA's bought rides on this where half the cargo will be just computers and hardware. So it just depends on who's paying to put what on the spacecraft. And many times in expeditions, I went on an expedition to Everest Base Camp, and we took science with us. We went there for another reason, but we didn't pass on the opportunity. So the answer is it's always going to be a mix.
I mean, we've been saying this all afternoon, Keith. You know, this is Branson's clearly shown his space ambitions today, but he's not the only one. There's hot on his heels is Jeff Bezos and equally Elon Musk, even if their space ambition isn't identical. We're hearing space more and more be described as a billionaire's playground. Is that a positive or a negative in your view?
Well, here in the 21st century, we're instantly cynical about everything. But if you look back over time, they had the same discussions about the people in not only the U.S. but around the world who were the steel barons who were building the steel industry, the coal industry, the train industry, the early airlines. There were epic battles between Pan Am and other companies. But the emergent aspect of this is once you've met the market for the rich people, someone comes up with a cheaper way to do it for more people. And it's almost inevitable that you'll see this with these various ways to get into space. Indeed, Branson has already talked about what he does after all the rich people fly. How can he get the price down lower so that more people can go?
So do you think that, I mean, above and beyond this 600 people that have already paid a deposit for these very, very pricey tickets, do you think that we'll see kind of more Joe Blogs, more average individual, a few decades from now being able to afford to get into space?
Yes, and it may not be Branson who does this, but Jeff Bezos, he runs a giant company that sells things, and he's all about profit margin. He may decide to price his seats low enough to generate interest. Elon Musk is building a gigantic spacecraft that can go into space to the moon or just jump around the world, and he's talked very openly about making it affordable to people. So again, it's classic economics. How much money do you put into something? How long do you accept the loss? Who's your market? And how long can you stick to the whole idea? And I think with all three of these companies, and ones we haven't even heard from yet, this is the shape of things to come.
So this mission today was successful. It lasted 1.5 hours. Everything seemed to go well. Is this inspiring in terms of, the safety precautions that will need to be taken for this type of test flight or flight in the future?
Yeah, well, here in the States, we have the FAA, our regulatory agency, that looks over the shoulder of every one of these things. This company did lose a vehicle and a crew member a few years back. And so, when your coworkers are putting their lives in the line, you think doubly about the issue of safety. But, of course, at the end of the day, you want a safe spacecraft so you can tell people you have a safe spacecraft so they'll buy tickets. And usually the easiest way to do that is to put your money where your mouth is. In this case, Richard Branson, and next week, Jeff Bezos will get in that spacecraft to show people that they'll fly. And if they can fly, you can fly. Just write the check.
And just a final question for you, Keith. What do you think this has done for Jeff Bezos today? Spurred him on, got him a little bit worried because, of course, the sense of competition between the pair, even if it's friendly, is certainly present.
Well, Mr. Bezos put some tweets out the other day trying to say that the astronauts, the people on this spacecraft, didn't actually go into space. Well, I just tweeted the fact that Neil Armstrong, as far as our space agency, NASA, and our Defense Department are concerned, Neil Armstrong became an astronaut when he flew a suborbital flight to even lower altitude. So the definitions that everybody has accepted for more than half of a century, those people today all met the qualifications, and they have earned their astronaut wings. So, it's a matter of well, everybody had a good time. Why not just get along with it and do more of it? That's sort of my response to this, and stop being critical about, a specific distance and did you cross a dotted line and up in the atmosphere.
All right, so on that note of everybody just getting along, Keith Cowan, you're an editor at NASAWatch.com. Thanks for sharing your thoughts with us today.
My pleasure.